I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just a middle-class kid. My dad did upholstery on cars. My mom did odd jobs. As long as I can remember, I was hustling. I remember going to my dad while he was playing poker with his buddies and saying, "Dad, I need some new sneakers." And he looked at me, looked at my feet, and he goes, "Those tennis shoes you got on, they work. When you have a job, you can buy whatever you want." And one of his buddies that had to be drunk was sitting at the poker table with him. And he goes, "Hey, I got something you can sell. I got all these boxes of garbage bags. Why don't you sell them in the neighborhood and then you can take the money you make and buy your sneakers?" He had these boxes that he sold to me for $3. I sold them for $6, but it went like this. "Hi, my name is Mark. Do you use garbage bags? I've got a great deal for you, and every time you need garbage bags, all you ever have to do is call me, and I'll put them in the back of my wagon, and I'll bring them right down to your house." That was my first business, the world's first, probably only, garbage bag door-to-door subscription company. As I started to get older and got into high school in particular, I realized that high school wasn't my jam, that I wanted to learn as much as I could about business. I started taking classes at night at the University of Pittsburgh when I was 16. And then when I was 17, I dropped out of high school altogether and went to Pitt full time. That's where things really started to happen for me. Second purchase, I paid $285 million for the Dallas Mavericks. I went to an opening night of the 99-2000 season. First game of the year. Wasn't sold out. Energy wasn't in the building. I'm a season ticket holder, a huge Mavs fan. I look around thinking, I can do a better job than this. Then I realized I can put my money where my mouth is. This was early November. By January 4th, I owned the Dallas Mavericks. So when I took over the Mavs, I didn't get a big office. I didn't give a shit about an office. I didn't get a big desk. I didn't give a shit about a big desk. We had a sales bullpen. We called it the fishbowl because it was in an open office with all these windows. And we had 8, 9, whatever salesperson. I put my desk right in the middle of them. I put a phone book and a computer printout of all of our former customers. And right there next to them, I just started dialing, trying to sell the Mavericks. "Ma'am, I know you've been to a Mavericks game before, but you realize now that it's less expensive to come to a Mavericks game than to take your family to McDonald's? Our tickets start at $8 and McDonald's and a Coke is more than that. Why don't you come and try us out? The first game's free on me." I wanted everybody that worked with me to see that if I asked them to do it, I'll do it. Same thing I did with people in the front office, I did with players on the court. We moved into a new arena, American Airlines Center. I wanted them to, when they go to work, feel good about going to work. We put in PlayStations, we put in TV screens. Now to this day, we upgraded it so that we had aroma, because different aromas impact you more before a game when you're trying to get hyped versus after the game. Light impacts you more. All these things that try to give our players an edge to help us win, but to also help them succeed. If you're running a company, and if you can align your interests with those of the people you work with, things are going to work for you. And you know what's really cool about owning a team? It's not so much owning the team, there's little perks. Let's just say that you're down 1. There's 3 seconds to go in the game. Your team takes the shot for the chance to win. The ball's in the air. Everybody is holding their breath. And when that ball goes through the hoop, you see the players go running out and dogpiling on top of each other, screaming and yelling and hugging, and you see this big pile of people. Well, I own the team. I get to run out with them. No one's going to arrest me. It's my team, and that is the most amazing part of owning the team. If you want to be a millionaire, you can do it. But there's a couple things you have to be able to accomplish. Rule number 1, find something you can be good at and then be great at it. Second, you have to know how to sell. Whatever it is you're good at, somebody's going to need that service, someone's going to need that whatever it is that you're creating, but you have to be able to sell because you don't want to be in a position where you're dependent on other people. Number 3, be curious and always be learning, because the one thing that's certain about business is that it changes every single day. And then the 4th thing, when you have that knowledge, when you have that ability to sell, when you know that when you walk into a room, you know your shit better than anybody else in the room, that's when it's time to start a company. Then you can start to control your own destiny.